What's up everybody, this is Fingerboard Gaming once again, and today we're going to go into a further analysis of the difference between the basic Techdeck, the slightly better Techdeck that has the rubber bushings, and the new Pro Series wooden decks with the foam grip tape. So for starters, we're going to look at the basic Rodriguez Techdeck. It's the 29mm wide by 100mm long. They're very thin. I mean, they're not wide at all, if that makes sense, by thin. Plastic wheels. They do have a little bit of a design on the side of the wheels, and they usually come in color. So more customization options, kind of better. Bad thing about it, plastic bushings. So the trucks are very, very stiff. Though a good way to fix that is you can take the bolt off, take the top bushing out. Then when you put it back together, it will have a slight wobble, but it's still not good. But that does help give you some turn and some more sense of control when you do your pop tricks. So you can actually hit that little angle better, and it makes tricks easier. And of course, you got this abrasive tape that also this one does have, but the difference is I put Gorilla Tape on it instead to kind of give it a little more traction. So the Gorilla Tape is better than the abrasive in my opinion. But we're going on the differences of the Techdeck themselves and not how I altered it. Now, unlike this Techdeck, the trucks on these are even wider too, to match the 34-inch diameter. I mean 32-inch. Millimeter, 32mm. Okay, so 32mm trucks versus the 29mm. They are slightly shaped differently. These are shaped more like legitimate trucks. These are shaped like a dollar store toy. So overall, they're both the same price, but this is better quality. The only difference is you can get these in a 4 or 5 pack, and they come with colored wheels. So you could like literally just buy a 5 pack, not use the decks, and if you really want the colored wheels, just slap them on one of these because it's better. Not the best, but it's better. Because, you know, you have the rubber bushings, allows the trucks to bend and turn properly. That way you can actually get your good angles going for tricks. Makes it better, makes it easier, makes it more pleasant. And of course, the wider deck does give you more finger space, giving you more traction, giving you more control, giving you a little bit more weight, if that's what you like. Now I know some people do prefer the smaller Techdecks because they're so light, and when you pop them, they have so much pop because of the light weight, and some people like that despite being smaller. And now that we went on to these little babies, I love these babies so much. Now we're going to the the Pro Series. Now the first difference, and the most noticeable difference between, get that out the way, out the shot, there we go. Most notable difference between this and this is made out of wood, and this deck is made out of plastic. This deck has a legitimate concave of a real skateboard, real shape, flat surface. This has the like angled, kind of odd shape to the deck. So the concave is like really steep in the middle, then it kind of narrows out on the end. And it can make some tricks difficult because if you hit it at just the wrong spot, you're going to flip the board in a completely different direction that you did not plan on flicking it. Unlike with this board, with this nice straight concave all the way across, it's perfectly even. Unlike this, where it's kind of like a W or some W, where it's kind of like a U. This is actually just a straight surface that kind of goes up and down with a curve, and the curve does make things more difficult. And of course, foam grip tape. Like when I rub this, I actually feel like I'm rubbing against it. I'm having to force my finger across. With the abrasive and the duct tape does have more grip, but not as much as this does. Now, one of the major differences in these the Pro Series that is not easily noticeable until you actually try them out and notice it yourself is that these are made with a fraction of rubber, where these are just full-blown plastic. So the wheels, they do roll just a tad better because the rubber on metal slides better than plastic on metal does. So there is a slight difference in how they roll. And of course, you can slide easily with the plastic wheels, but sliding with the rubber wheels are a little stiffer, and it's going to be hard to do that. So if you want to do like, if you land like this, and you want to save yourself and go revert, you're going to have that scratching noise. Whereas if you land, go like that, and land sideways. See how easy it is on this board. It's a little more difficult. So it's kind of hard to get used to the rubber wheels. In some ways they're better, in some ways they're worse. That's really up to you. I do love my power slides because not every time you land perfectly straight. You kind of gotta fix yourself. So you might land like this, you gotta go like that, or you might land completely like that and then have to go like that. Whereas with this, it's like sliding on air. But this is like kind of like a chore. But overall, in my personal opinion, the deck is the best designed deck there is. And oh yeah, one last difference. Almost forgot this one. The tail and the nose. The tail and the nose on this deck tends to have like a perfect U shape. Whereas if you can tell with this deck, it gets a little wider around here, and then it cups off in a thicker radius. So it's not as thin of a radius as the plastic decks are. So that way when you pop, at first you may have a little bit more of a harder time getting the flip tricks you want until you get used to the shape. Because if you go like this, see, you're already hitting that angle. See, you're already getting that angle of the flip pretty easily. Whereas with this, if you go like that, whoops, lost my camera. But here, if you hit that, it's not going to like flip in the same way. So you're going to have to like just kind of sort of adjust how you do your tricks. But once you get used to the adjustment, it's going to be a completely different experience, and you're actually going to end up loving these. Like, I messed around with them some last night. I was playing till midnight, and I usually go to bed at 10. So, like I said, the difference: wooden deck, rubber wheels, different shaped nose and tail, foam grip tape, high performance. And honestly, they call it the High Performance Pro Decks of 2020. And honestly, they kind of hit the nail on the head with this. My only real complaint is that for the price of $12 versus $250, they should have included bearing wheels and maybe some bubble bushings or spare bushings in general. Like, either bubble bushings or the rings, but they still use the little Techdeck bushings that tend to like come in one. They tend to break apart after a couple weeks or months, so they don't last a whole long. That's why I kind of like burn through these boards so quick, because after so many tricks, the bushing starts tearing up and they start peeling out, and you poke at them and you peel at them, then before you know it, you don't have bushings. So my only complaint is, once again, bearing wheels, spare bushings, or better bushings. But other than that, I give these boards an 8 out of 10. And an 8 out of 10 is pretty good for Techdeck, considering with these boards, despite I love using them, if you compare them to like Teak Tuning wins by a landslide. Like, I'll give Teak Tuning also an 8 out of 10 because they have their own flaws that I'm not going to get into in this video. And these, a 7 out of 10, only because of the shape of the deck. But I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I hope y'all enjoyed my review. I hope y'all enjoyed the comparisons. And I hope y'all hit that like and subscribe button. And I'll be sure to review some more. Well, actually, I really can't review no more decks right now. But I will be doing videos with these decks. In fact, like I said in the previous video, I have 2 of these. Which I love the David Gonzalez more than the blind. Just because of the design. That's like a little picture on the deck. This one actually has like almost the whole deck designed. But yeah, overall 8 out of 10. Great quality, great everything. Very workable, very usable. If you don't have a professional fingerboard, this is like a dream come true for you. So like I said, leave that like, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll definitely reply. So I'll see you guys later. This has been Fingerboard Gaming, logging off. Have a good day, stay safe, stay clean, and just have a wonderful, wonderful time. Just enjoy the life of Techdecks. Bye.